I just feel that it might be forgotten.
I was torn about whether I thought it was going to qualify.
It's just wow.
Where's the chorus? Like, where's the hook?
No way this is going through.
They are huge bops.
I love it.
Ugh, you like that country?
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is still Epix Eurovision guy, and it's only one day remaining until Eurovision begins, the first semi-final. And as you can see, I am not here alone today. Well, I am alone in my home and I can discotheque here. But joining me from United Kingdom is Luke. Welcome.
Hey, I see what you did there. Let's discotheque right at my home. It's okay to dance alone. Got your back.
You know the lyrics.
How are you?
I'm doing very well thanks to Eurovision being so close. I'm excited to see the live shows and I know that you are too.
Yes, but I'm also quite scared and quite anxious because once this week is over, that's it. Nothing.
Post-Eurovision depression, we all experience it.
The last 2 years, mate. 2 years.
Anyway, so what are we doing here today, Luke?
I don't know. You just kind of set me up in a meeting. I don't know what to expect. Maybe we're going to play a game, some Pictionary. Like, what? I'm not sure. Like,
that's actually good. Let's change the plan. No, but since Eurovision is so close away, and we all have some favorites, but we all know that not all of them can qualify. We have 10 countries from each semi-final that can qualify and make it to the final. So we're going to discuss which countries do we think are going through. Not the ones that we hope are going through, but what are our predictions? Sounds good.
I'm glad you said that because there were so many countries and I really want them to get through, but in my heart, I know. Like, do you know what I mean? My heart's with them, but my head says, I don't think it's going to get through. There's a fine line between bias and use your common sense of what you think the general public are going to vote on. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I have the same. I mean, so many of my favorites are the ones that are the most likely to be left out. So it's painful, but the earlier you accept it, the better, I think. And if they do qualify, it's a very nice surprise.
Yes, exactly. There's a saying over here in England, expect the worst and you won't be disappointed.
Now that's some good advice. But first of all, I think let's start with the countries that we both put through from the first semi-final. And actually, looking at both of our predictions, we did agree on 9 countries.
We did? No way! See, can I just tell the viewers right now, I only know my predictions, what I've sent to you. I don't know what you predicted. So for you to tell me that we've agreed on 9 is amazing because I know we both get so many strange and weird and horrible comments about you have no taste or you like that country, or do you know what I'm saying? So this actually makes me feel normal.
That's always the case. That's just the world we live in. That's just the YouTube world we live in. But can you guess which country is the one that we didn't agree? So
okay.
You put through Lithuania, Russia, Sweden, Ireland, Cyprus, Ukraine, Malta, Israel, Romania, and Croatia.
Okay, I'm going to say the one that I'm torn. I think there's 2 that I'm torn between. I have a feeling that you didn't agree on either Croatia or Israel.
I'll put both of them through.
Oh.
So the ones that we did agree on are Lithuania, Russia, Sweden, Ireland, Cyprus, Ukraine, Malta, Israel, and Croatia.
Romania?
I did left, Romania, I'm torn. Now, this is for me not out, but it's also not a certain qualifier. And the reason behind that, I just feel that it might be forgotten. I've had this feeling from day one, basically. Just Romania has, I don't know, I've had this feeling that it will be a shock non-qualifier. It's just my
Okay.
gut feeling, and I'm trusting my gut feeling with this. Um, it could easily qualify, but I don't know. I just don't
Something
know.
inside of you is telling you that it's not going to qualify.
Exactly, and the rehearsals, while the visuals were they were very good, the vocals were a bit off.
Hmm. Well, to be honest with you, I think Roxanne really does bring the 21st century and 2021 into the competition. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are a lot of other acts that are modern, cool, pop, but I think Roxanne has that whole effortless cool about her. So, you know, like for example, the way that Ariana Grande's gone now, or Billie Eilish, it's all very relaxed pop, if that makes sense, but with such a strong message behind it. And I feel like the younger generation will be voting for that as opposed to the older generation. And I don't want to typecast or say, oh no, old people won't like this song. But I can definitely see what you're saying. I understand that. I feel that it can look a little bit limp in comparison to either the crazy bops or the heartfelt ballads. It's kind of on this mid-level, isn't it, in between?
Yeah, exactly. But I do agree with everything you said, and I do actually like the song myself, and I would put it through. But I don't know, just the feeling that I'm trusting for now. But the country that I don't know why, but put through instead of Romania is Norway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the reason is that it's just so different, so out there, and so cliche, so cheesy. It's so memorable that it will
I
stick in
actually
people's
love that.
minds. And especially, I can imagine, kids wanting to vote for this. This is, I don't know, so playful and it's childish, but maybe that's the charm it has.
I love that you said that would go through because I would love for Norway to go through. And if I had to pick, I would prefer Norway to go through than I would for Romania because Norway is just my kind of music in comparison. No offense, 21st century Gen Z, but Tix and Fallen Angel is my thing. Can you see behind me? I've got some angel wings today in honor of Tix. It's I would love for that to go through, but I see where you're coming from. I think it just has such a wide appeal for such a lot of people. The only thing that is stuck at the back of my mind, considering Norway, is that I either feel like people won't get it, or I feel that it's Tix is very, very popular, but only in Norway, and Norway cannot vote. So that's the line I'm on at the moment. I would love for him to get through, but on the other hand, I'm thinking, is everybody going to get it? My mum watched them all for the first time, and she remembered it. She didn't like it, but she remembered it, and that's saying
Exactly.
something.
Exactly. Even if you don't like it, you will remember it. And there are a lot of people that actually love it. And that's what matters, You will vote for, I don't know, one or two countries maximum when you're just a typical Eurovision viewer. And you have to love a song. If you just, that's a good song, yeah, decent. That's not enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the reason behind that. Personally, I wouldn't really like to see Norway going through. It's not really my kind of song, but I do think it has a very good chance.
Mm.
Now, I think we can all agree that Lithuania, Cyprus, Ukraine, and Malta are deadlock qualifiers, right? I
Come
mean, there
on.
shouldn't
I mean,
be
you
an
say
argument
that.
there.
You say that. Watch it. Don't jinx it. Fingers crossed. Come on.
So yeah, I mean, I can't see a scenario where Lithuania, Cyprus, Ukraine, or Malta don't qualify.
I, I mean, looking at that same, but stranger things have happened.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, it would be a huge shock, right?
Oh, completely. Can you imagine if Malta didn't get through? I think the fandom, I think their jaws would be on the floor.
I think they would want Eurovision to be cancelled and they would like the count to be stopped. Uh, but okay, we all we both agree that these are going through 100%. What do you think about Russia?
Russia. Now, I think Russia has had a lot of favours, especially with the running order, considering it comes straight after Slovenia. And like you've obviously had the weird and wacky group opening the show. Slovenia brings it down a peg. And I don't think that the audience are ready for that, for such a dramatic change. So they're a bit like maybe getting a bit antsy, a bit itchy. And then as soon as Russia comes along, another quirky queen, just like the group, again, I think the audience's attention are bam, back on Manisha. And I think she'll get through.
Yeah, this is just so quirky and memorable that at first I thought that it's out. I didn't see how it could qualify, how people could even like something like this. But
Okay.
you know what? Time has passed, and I think this is pretty funny. I mean, the performance, not the message itself, but the performance, her facial expressions, how it's all built, and I mean, from the rehearsals, she's wearing a huge dress on wheels. I mean, come on.
She's so charismatic, isn't she? Like you said, you can see it through her face. She gives 110% when she's singing. For all we know, I know this isn't the case, she could be singing about a fish and chip shop or about crumpets, but her face, I love crumpets. Like she's giving it. Do you know what I mean? Exactly like that.
That's very true. So again, same reason mostly as Norway for me. It's just so memorable, and people that love it will remember it and vote for it. Next, Sweden. A lot of people this year seem to not really get behind Sweden that much, and it's not really the most popular song out there. But personally, when I first saw the Melody Festival and performance, I was blown away. I mean, it's exactly, well, this can be a positive or a negative. It's exactly what we would expect from Sweden. Great production, great vocals, great pop song. And the visuals were amazing as well. The message was amazing. I loved everything about it. And I mean, it flew straight to my top five. What about you?
Well, exactly the same as you. I've definitely seen a 50-50 divide. People love it or people really don't like it. And first reactions, Melody Festival, and yes, all about it, loved it. As time has gone on, I do feel like the chorus can get a little monotonous, a bit stagnant. Don't get me wrong, still love the song. I just think, especially people like you and I in the fandom, because we play these songs again and again and again, we have a danger of getting too used to them. So if I was to try and put it out there as a prediction, I think it would do well based on everything you've just said, vocals, production, message. But for someone in our bubble, I feel like it's starting to slip down my top 39 a little bit. I hope he does well.
Yeah, exactly the same. It has fallen in my top actually. But we got to remember, most people watch the Eurovision show and listen to these songs first time, and the first reaction is what matters. And Sweden always places high in the jury vote, and this will no doubt be a contender for, I don't know, even top three in the jury, possibly.
Hashtag jury bait.
Exactly. So another country that I personally love, but a lot of people seem to, not rate it as highly, is Ireland.
Well, let me just tell you now. I didn't like it at first. Well, look, that's a lie. I liked it, but that was it. I just liked it. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing. As soon as I saw that staging, I was hooked. And straight away, boom, straight up in that top 39. Whereas at first I was a bit like, it's quite Disney-esque, quite Disney Pixar, empowering. And I was a bit like, forgettable. But now I am a Leslie Roy stan.
Well, for me, similar to Sweden, from the first moment, I just fell in love with the song. And I thought this is one of the best songs from Ireland in a long time. So positive and powerful, and I mean, I love it. It's 5+, 8+, 10 out of 10 for me. But the one thing that has bothered me with Ireland this year and last year as well are Leslie's vocals. They haven't convinced me in any performance that I've heard live. First rehearsal I thought was terrible. The second one was a lot better. And if she can pull her vocals together, get a good live performance, then I think the visuals are strong enough to put her through. But if her vocals fail, then I can see a lot of juries not rating this.
Bless her heart. I mean, she's doing a lot on that stage. And I think I did hear in an interview that, or she said to somebody that the treadmill or whatever she was running on was actually at the wrong speed. So, so bless her heart, she's there thinking, I'm going to sing my song. And suddenly she's doing a sprint like a poor voice. I bet she was shattered afterwards.
Now that can actually explain it. But yeah.
But I know what you mean, because you mentioned last year as well. And I said about both tracks, I feel like in the studio version, even that in the recorded version, the production drowns her out quite a lot. And she's got such a nice rasp to her voice. I would love to hear it a bit more isolated.
Yeah, I do get what you mean. So, yeah, the vocal part is the only one that I'm worried about. But if it's decent on the night, I think the visuals are very strong. And both the jury and the public can really get behind this. So it's not in the qualifiers by the bookmakers. Definitely, it's quite far from that. I think right now, yep, Ireland is 14th.
Oh, okay.
With 28% qualifying chance. But
nice.
We both actually think it's going to qualify.
So I think we should put a bet on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good bet, because I think Ireland is very underrated this year.
Completely, 100%.
But let's move on. Next two countries, Israel and Croatia. Now, at first, when I thought about my prediction, I thought that, okay, one of them will qualify and one of them will be left out. It's either Israel or Croatia. Now, in the end, I decided to put it through, put both of them through. But I'm still, they're both really on the border for me. They could be left out, they could qualify, and I'm not sure either way. What is your opinion?
I swear we're the same person. Literally, everything you've just said was exactly what was going through my mind. They're both modern bops. They are, no doubt about it, they are huge bops. And they are quite similar sounding. Eden kind of has a funk style to her, whereas Albina has a pure pop vibe with an 80s aesthetic. But they're both very high energy, bang, bang, bang kind of I'm here, impact. And I would love to see them both go through. And I'm going to say the same as you. I think they're just teetering into that. Yes, they will go through, because they feel good. I think everybody needs a party after the cancellation last year, especially with the C word, COVID. Everybody just needs something fun. And they're both very, very strong singers as well. And if we're talking about vocals, and people are, a lot of people will probably vote based on the vocals. And I think they both are going to smash it.
Yeah, I mean, and Eden Aline, the whistle notes at the end.
Wow.
That's a moment. That's a moment.
It really is. And did you see her in the rehearsals as well? Right, this is me I'm not gonna do the vocal because you'll be the deaf. She's there with her mic and she just kind of goes, and she does her whistle note, and her face is like this.
Yeah, totally relaxed. I'm just singing out here. Don't mind me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, is that me done?
Oh, and that's a song over. Thank you, Europe. Bye-bye.
She may as well whistle. Goodbye.
Her vocals in both of the rehearsals, I mean, out of this world.
I wish as well it was a little bit of a personality contest, because Eden is such a lovely girl. from all of the interviews. She's so sweet. I want to be her best friend. Well, honestly.
Absolutely. So I think juries must respect both of them as well, just purely because of the vocals. I mean, they're very strong, and not everyone can do a whistle note. I'm returning to that note. Those are just mind blowing, and that's the main point that I have with Israel going through. Just the whistle notes will blow people's minds.
Yes.
But okay, we've talked about our qualifiers and Romania and Norway as well. Let's quickly go over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs that we think are not going to qualify. No, not 6 actually. 5. 5. 5 remaining songs. First of all,
Maths.
yeah, not my strongest subject. First of all, I very nearly put it through, and I love the song, and I hope it qualifies, but the rehearsals disappointed me. Belgium.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The song is just so special. It's miles better than last year. It has this creepy vibe, this dark vibe. I mean, the vocals, again, on point, the production, it's just so classy and well done. But on the stage, I don't know, based on the rehearsals, it just falls a bit flat. There's really nothing going on. There's the band, and yeah, when I saw the rehearsal, I knew that, okay, Belgium is probably gonna be forgotten.
And the problem is that I think based on instant impact, it's not there. It's definitely a grower though. You listen to that 2 or 3 times, then you're like, wow, I love this song. First reaction, it did nothing. It was a bit bland for me. But I think props to them in regards of with their staging, they basically just want to do what they do on an everyday basis. They just want to be the band that they are. They don't want any gimmicks. They don't want any show, a lot of production on stage, which is great for them. And they're being so genuine to themselves. But at the end of the day, they're not going to get noticed, I don't think, unless you have that niche kind of audience that are really into the dark and kind of harrowing stuff. I don't think that they're going to stand out.
But at the same time, I mean, it can go either way with the juries. It can be very high, and that can elevate Belgium enough to make them qualify. But at the same time, I can see this, finishing bottom 3 as well for the juries. I have no idea how they're going to vote.
It's so wide open, isn't it?
Okay, so Azerbaijan. What do you think about Azerbaijan and Matahari?
What? This one has been playing on my mind for a while because I was torn about whether I thought it was going to qualify or not. I was looking at this alongside Ukraine because they're both the most ethnic in this semi-final. Matahari kind of has that ethnic drop and more of a commercialized ethnic feel, whereas Ukraine is more ethnicity hidden behind EDM. And I think Matahari could go either way for me. I mean, I've put it on my non-qualifier list just because it's such a tough semi-final. But I mean, that was probably my 11th.
Yeah, it's I've put it in the category maybe out with Romania, Belgium, and then Azerbaijan. I do feel this can go either way, and it has a lot of fans. But again, with Belgium and Azerbaijan, both the stagings look a bit flat to me. There's really not too much going on. They're doing their moves, but the wide shots and, it's not doing it for me.
I think she looks a bit swallowed up on the stage, doesn't she? It went, like you say, with the wide shots, she's just kind of there with her little dancers. And then these really high, I'm not sure what they are, like patterned things. They just make her look really small in comparison. And it's a shame because the song is very big, especially on first reaction. I was like, take my money. Bam, it took me. But then like now looking at it all together, I'm left a little bit deflated by the staging, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and well, personally, I don't really like the song. But the reason why I left it out is, well, it has a good running spot actually, 14th, second to last. But after Azerbaijan comes Ukraine. As you said, both are very ethnic, and Ukraine has just so much more power and staging. It's amazing, and it will just make people forget about Azerbaijan.
It's a lot more unique, isn't it?
Yeah, and it could qualify, but yeah, I'm leaning towards a no. And the three countries left are Australia, Slovenia, and North Macedonia. Now, firstly, I mean Australia. I just feel so sorry that they're not in Rotterdam.
Me too. And I do feel like, unfortunately, you shouldn't think like this, but I do kind of feel like it will have an effect, because when you have to tell the audience, and no doubt about it, the hosts are going to say to the audience, unfortunately, Australia couldn't be here tonight, so we're going to go over to them via video or whatever they're going to do. That is going to have an effect, because people either won't understand or they'll think, oh, well, shouldn't they all be? There's going to be a slight misjudgment with it all, which is really unfair, because her song is a bop. But I just don't think, in comparison to, like we said before, with the quirkier side of the bops, that it will stand out enough.
Yeah. Well, in Eesti Laul, actually, one of the artists was left out of the final as well. They couldn't perform, so they used the semi-final. And when they went to them via video, people were like, why are they at home? I mean, they couldn't even bother to come here, really? I mean, of course, then there was the language barrier, but still, it could happen in Eurovision. But it can go the complete opposite direction, in my opinion, as well. People will feel sorry for Montaigne, and sympathy votes doesn't really sound good, but it could happen. And I mean, the song is not bad, is it?
No, it's not bad at all. I just think, what we've said before, with how strong the semi-final is, it's just not up to, I wouldn't say impact-wise. I think the impact in comparison to the other songs isn't there. But I think the hook is catchy. It's a good song. I mean, I downloaded it as soon as it came out.
Yeah, but I would say first reaction was better, but then it has fallen for me a little bit. I mean, the sound, I'm just tired of it by now. But yeah, I think that Australia will have its first non-qualification this year.
Ooh, breaking their record. I think I agree with you, though. I think it will be their first. And even looking at last year, maybe even last year might have been their first.
Yeah, because, I mean, I put them through, but it was a very tough first semi-final again last year, just as this year. So
that was a bloodbath.
Absolutely. And two countries that I'm afraid will not survive the bloodbath are Slovenia and North Macedonia.
Yeah. Slovenia, she was done dirty. That running order, what? Who thought of putting a heartfelt, emotional ballad with this raw, raspy vocal, lovely, deep, smooth voice in between discotheque and Russian Woman? Like, they're both so outlandish and so out there that she's in the middle, like a sandwich, but the bread's in the middle in between the filling. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I'm like, I feel so sorry for her, but she's going to fade away into the background.
Yeah, I mean, with a better spot in the running order, I think this would have had a chance to qualify. I personally love the song, and I mean, it has a moment in the end where all the vocals come together, and it's just wow. Okay, in the second rehearsal, she stood at the wrong place. Hi, Belgium. But still, from the second spot, it's going to be pretty much impossible to qualify, especially from the first semi-final.
If she was last, if she was after Malta, that would have been a moment. Can you imagine? Like, in everybody's brain, they would have said, wow, that really gave me shivers at the end there. But because it's in between such quirky songs, it's just not.
Yeah. And North Macedonia.
I'm sorry, it just takes a bit too long to get going. I mean, the song, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but the song's formula is just so different. Like, there's no clear cut of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. It just seems to be like, when I was reacting, I kind of thought, where's the chorus? Like, where's the hook? Where's the thing that's going to drag me in? It just seemed non-existent to me. And I think people will either wait for it or it will be the toilet break.
Yeah, it can be a good thing not to, follow the known formula, but in this case, it's just gonna be forgotten and people will not really pay any attention to it. I mean, the staging looked decent. Okay, we only saw one shot. I mean, is the camera just gonna stay there? I mean, Vasil's gonna sing "Here I Stand," and I saw a comment somewhere with Vasil, "Here I stand," cameraman. Yeah, okay, bye. I'll just leave my camera on, go to the toilet, have a few drinks, and then come back for the next next country.
They may as well just be holding a selfie stick.
Yeah, but no way this is going through. I mean, it's in a way a nice, beautiful song, but not good enough for a Eurovision grand final.
No, I completely agree with you. It's just, again, it's one of these songs that's just going to fall into the background and get lost.
So, you know what, Luke? We have actually discussed every single country in the first semi-final.
Whee!
But I have two questions remaining for you.
Okay.
Who do you think will finish last, and who do you think will finish first in this semi-final?
In this semi-final, let me get my list out. Let me just confirm, because I cannot remember. Okay, I think first, I'm going to have to say, considering this will be the first time that people hear, whereas we're used to the songs, I've got to try and put myself in that mindset. I think Malta or Lithuania will be first, and I'm torn between which ones. I'll probably go ahead and say Malta because it is the last, so it's going to be fresh in people's minds. But Lithuania a close second. And last, I'm going to say North Macedonia. What about you?
I completely agree. I do think that North Macedonia will most likely finish last. And Lithuania will do very, very well, but I just feel like Malta has a bigger appeal in the jury vote. And
yes,
it will crush both the televote and jury vote. Her vocals are amazing, and I mean, this is contender for the win overall.
Yeah.
So if it wants to win, it better win this semi-final as well.
And to be honest with you as well, it's the most commercial. You could hear that on the radio tomorrow morning. You could see it on TV, on the music video channels. Lithuania is so quirky and so out of the box. It is more of a unique taste.
Yeah, exactly. But there we go. This is how we predicted the first semi-final. Didn't disagree on too much, I would say. I was expecting a heated conversation, but actually we mostly just repeated each other's words.
I'm telling you, we're the same version. I'm just the British version of you.
Exactly. So there you go. We agreed on 9, and well, I think we could have agreed on the 10th as well. But it is a tough semi-final, and a lot of countries are in it to qualify. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow. And when the contest is finished, we'll find out if our prediction for the winner and the last place of the semi-final will be accurate as well. But thank you guys for watching on, what day is it? On Wednesday, you will see our prediction for the second semi-final. So then we'll see how the first semi-final prediction went. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Luke, do you have anything to say?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you for all of the conversations you leave in the comment section down below, because you open so much debate, and it's so good to learn so much more about these songs, or about the artists, or about what the meaning and the messages are behind the songs. Because when we react, we just go straight in there. We don't have time to look at the backstories, because we don't want it to influence our reaction. We want to take it based on what it is. So thank you, everybody, for all of your input. It's really appreciated.
Exactly. Thank you, Luke, for being here, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
I wake up and I think I could use another drink. I'm reaching for a smoke to forget about last night.